Warden Tom Gillespie. Authorization 12210. This is likely to be my final log recording. The riots that started in D Block have spilled into A, B, and C blocks. I've ordered everyone to fall back to the shuttle bay for evacuation. It was prisoner D03118, Jasper Cricks, who led the revolt. His crew tunneled into the armory undetected, and then all hell broke loose. If the lock is recovered, I urge the UC authorities to perform a full investigation, as Cricks undoubtedly had help from the guards and the staff. I'm now heading to my personal escape shuttle, and we'll try to jump out of the system. Wish me luck. Warden Gillespie, out.
Why the hell did you lie to Delgado about me? You didn't do all this work alone. Oh, come on. There's no need for that. You're right. Maybe I could have done more of the brain work. But hey, at least I helped you take out those things, whatever the hell they were, right? Look, about all that killing Delgado stuff, why don't we just forget about everything that I said? You know, like it never happened. Oh, you're gonna be like that, huh? Well, I guess I deserve it. Now, let's get the heck out of here.
in the settled systems? Well, they should.
Nice clean dock, Captain.
Whew. Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
Rook.
That last job didn't pan out. I need something bigger.
Yeah?
Care to upgrade that ship of yours? So, looks like we got ours. Once again, I'm Jazz. Like Neva said, you need ship parts? It may not be wider, but it's not on the books, if that's what you're getting at. I can guarantee your ship will be in good. We got the best. Anything that keeps the UC and just let me know when you want to talk. All business and no fun. I bet you would.
Always listen to Delgado. Unless you want to get keel-hauled across the key.
I hope you did not have any loose cred sticks. I fully expect you would find them missing when we leave here.
We may not have official security on the key, but we'll...
There you are. The hell took you so long?
It's about time. I was about to fly down and loot your bodies.
Not now, neighbor. Well, you said you found something. Hand it over. That's it? Just one slate? After losing so much of our crew, it better be a map with a big red X on it. Well, I'll be damned. Legacy wasn't referring to Crix's fortune. It's the name of an actual ship. A Galbank transport probably loaded with credits.
Never heard any stories about a Gal Bank ship going down. And even if it had happened, it would have been picked clean years ago.
No, Neva. Think. If Gal Bank covered it up, and over time, the location was eventually forgotten, it wouldn't be on anyone's radar. Okay, this changes things. Now that we know what we are looking for, we have to narrow the search. Well, that is not necessarily true. Let us start with what we know. It was a Galbank ship, which means the company is going to have records of where it went down. Neva, weren't you working on a deal with Rokov? Something about a big-wig charity event on one of Trident's Starliners?
Are you serious? I've been working on that gig for 3 months. That's my score.
Ay, Dios mío. Will you shut up about your score and think for a second? That Starliner has a Galbank VIP suite aboard, which means... Come on, Neva. This isn't hard.
Which means a Gal Bank exec will be aboard. We grab their credentials and get ourselves into the Gal Bank archives in New Atlantis. Holy shit, that might actually work. I'll send a message to Rokov right away.
Pack your bags, Rook. You're going on vacation. And since you've earned it, take this gun with you. Might come in handy when Rokov screws everything up as usual. Good, because that is exactly what you are going to be doing. Neva and I are too well known to walk around the Starliner without being recognized. If Trident Security spotted us, it'd be over. I need you to board that ship, make contact with Rokov, and get me those credentials. You'd better. Oh, before you leave, I wanted you to know that I took what you said about Mathis into consideration, and I've decided to cut him from the fleet.
Honestly, I'm surprised he made it off Suvorov in one piece.
We'll see. That's it then. Next stop for you is Rokov Starliner, the Siren of the Stars. And remember, Rokov does not need to know anything about Grixis' legacy. For now, it's just between us. Now get out of here.
Hey, Rook, before you head out, I need to have a word with you. Meet me at the last Nova after you wrap things up with Mathis.
Shouldn't you be packing for your trip? If you have any last
Tell us what
questions
the
about the
future
job,
holds for the
ask
Crimson
them
Fleet.
now.
Changes are coming, Gale. Huge changes. Crimson Fleet will soon be a much bigger player in this little game between the members of the settled systems.
That's quite a bold statement. Would you care to elaborate?
Well, let's just say that I'm on the brink of a score so large, it makes everything else pale in comparison.
Are you looking to start something? Because I'll
You'll
finish
just
it.
have to wait and see.
The captain's here.
If you aren't willing to discuss the details, why grant SSNN this interview?
Simple. I refuse to allow the UC to spin or bury the story, making it sound like they're in complete control of the situation. I'm gonna tell you right now, they aren't.
Why does the Crimson Fleet need to make this mysterious move that you're being so evasive about?
Hey, I want to talk to you. Thanks to you, Delgado's cutting me from the fleet. Well, you know what? You better get your own fleet, because I'm coming after you. I see. You think you're some kind of big shot, is that it? Gonna show poor Mathis a little mercy now that you're Delgado's best buddy, yeah? Well, guess what? Your generosity is getting me kicked off the key. And that means you better watch your back. Oh, I will, I can promise you that. Best part is, you won't even see it coming.
But you have just told us that you will attempt it. Do you not consider that counterproductive if you mean to ambush us?
Now get the hell out of me way!
Pirates and alcohol. What could go wrong in a place like this?
The fleet's the only family you need.
I heard Ray was in a monastery.
There you are. All right, look. I've been lining up a score with that asshole roll call from the Siren of the Stars for months. I'm not about to let a payday slip through my fingers. So guess what? You're gonna finish the job for me.
No, thank you.
I'm about to tell you, so shut up and listen. Rokov's been tipping me off about some kind of bullshit charity event that the Siren of the Stars is hosting. At the event, they're gonna give away something called the Earth Savior Award, which is worth tens of thousands of credits. So it's simple. While you're on the Siren, swiping those Gal Bank credentials, I want you to grab that award and bring it to me. And I'd prefer to have the money that award's worth in my account. So you're just gonna have to deal with it. Look, you can make all the jokes and excuses you want. But if you don't come back with the ES award, I'm gonna deduct it from your pay. Either way, I get my money. How much you walk away with is in your own hands. Got it?
I suppose it is up to you to decide whether it is worth it.
All Rokov does is feed me information. If I ask him to lift a finger, he gives me enough sob stories to fill a freighter's cargo bay. If you want my advice, leave him completely out of the loop. Otherwise, it's gonna cost both of us some credits. Then it's settled. Good. All right, Rook, we're done here. We'll talk later.
Food around here is what you'd expect. Cheap, fast.
Be sure and check your pockets when we leave. Be certain you still have everything in them.
I like my weapons like I like my coffee.
In the fleet, you either put up, shut up, or die.
Captains handle most of the patrols. We've earned their trust.
Hell of a job you did down there, Rook. Hell of a job. If you have any last questions about the job, ask them now. Shouldn't you be packing for your trip?
jazz about any ship upgrades. Nothing worse than a pirate ship with no
Oh my god! I'm literally following in your footsteps right
Now that we have a moment, after your experience at the temple, you've given everyone at the lodge quite a scare.
So, Miss Stay Up Late reading under the covers?
I find that to be rather surprising. According to what I've heard, your body absorbed an almost unquantifiable amount of energy of a type we can't even begin to understand. We're dealing with something unknown to modern science. Who knows how this encounter has affected your body or your mind?
Remind me one of these days to tell you the tale.
Well, good. I'm pleased to hear that. That temple proves we're dealing with entities of unknown origin. The problem is that we can't even begin to guess what their intention was towards us and where they've gone. Perhaps. It's just that... Oh, I'm afraid that we're flying almost completely blind here. All we know for certain at this point is that whoever created the artifacts are the same beings that built the temple. Anything else is just guesswork. I might as well put on a blindfold and toss darts at theories written on the wall. Oh, believe me, this is positively exhilarating. Think about the significance of this research. The questions it raises alone are mind-boggling. Who was this wondrous structure built to accommodate? How long ago did these entities inhabit our universe? Are they still out there, somewhere? Perhaps. We'll need more data to be sure. It's funny. I used to think the artifacts were the end-all be-all of scientific discovery, the pinnacle mystery of our time. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine it would lead to something of this magnitude. I just hope that you'll come through this, whatever it is, unharmed. Well, yes, of course you are. I was speaking of the power you've acquired. This is all scientifically speaking, of course. Look, I've already taken up too much of your time. All I can do is promise that I'm not going to make you deal with this mystery alone. Whatever might be happening, I'll be right here to help you every step of the way.
Clamps released.
You can practically hear the sound of credits being wasted.
Okay, hello.
Operations does good work.
Anything new to report?
Outposts out there.
Well done. Let's see what you found. It's a amazing that all this romantic nonsense about Crix's legacy really just amounts to a rumor Jasper Crix picked up in jail. It just goes to show you how a tiny rumor can snowball into a full-blown fairy tale. Any other fragments? I'll be damned. So some of the UC guards at the lock helped touch off the riots. Everyone thought he was some kind of legendary criminal mastermind, but even the great Jasper Crix needed a helping hand to get out of prison. Anything else? Okay, fine. I know there's more out there, so keep on it. You're not gonna let this go, are you? Why do you care so much about my past? Okay. But don't say I didn't warn you. You might not like what I have to say. Would it shock you to learn that I spent some time in prison? I suppose that makes me a hypocrite. That's fair. Well, okay. Where do I start? I grew up in the Well in New Atlantis. Parents made barely enough money to keep the lights on in our apartment. After I dropped out of school, they begged for me to look for work. But I realized it was a lot easier to simply take whatever I wanted instead. A year after that, I'm a career criminal with UC security breathing down my neck, and my parents kicking me out of the house. That's just it, though. I was having the time of my life, earning way more than I needed to simply get by and loving every minute of it. Back then, if you would have told me one day I'd be wearing this uniform, I'd have said you were out of your mind. Thanks. I'm quite proud of where I've ended up. Let's just say the years after my time in the Well were filled with highs and lows. Look, the point is that I felt you deserved to know a bit about my past, to know where my anger towards the fleet comes from. You're welcome. Well, I think you've had enough for now. You get the point. Let's get back to it before Keyboy writes us a citation for loitering. Let me know if you need anything else.
You're back. So how did it go? Then things are moving forward. Perfect.
Nice job, Rook.
I was certain we'd fool Delgado, but never. She's a sharp one. Overcoming her scrutiny is no small matter. Did you discover anything worth reporting yet? Legacy. Why does that sound familiar? Wait a moment. Are you telling me Delgado may have actually located Crix's legacy?
I have never heard of such a thing.
I'm surprised. I thought this was one of those tales that made it to every corner of the settled systems.
I suppose it's possible, sir. Intelligence picked up a bit of chatter on that subject recently. We assumed it was some sort of tall tale or a story to attract recruits to their cause. Well, let's find out if Delgado's chasing ghosts, or he's smarter than we suspect. Let me see what we have here. Nope. There are no records of a Gal Bank transport named the Legacy in the database. I think Delgado's trying to manipulate you. What do you think, sir?
I think there's no record because Gal Bank is hiding something. Delgado's no fool. If he risked his own neck to get that information, he must be on to something. We have to take this seriously. What's your next move? Clever, Delgado. Very clever. If I were in your place, I'd be trying to do the exact same thing. We can't let Delgado get his hands on what could potentially turn out to be the largest haul of credits the Crimson Fleet's ever seen.
Maybe I should head out to New Atlantis, sir. I could press the Gal Bank execs for information. Get ahead of everything.
No. Let's allow this to run its course. We have our agent here feeding us information. I think that's good enough for now. There's more to this than just finding the location of the transport. Jasper Creeks was clever. For some reason, he never got there. It's imperative that you do. If the Crimson Fleet gets its hands on a transport full of currency, it would be disastrous for the settled systems. I need you to do whatever you can to bring us more information. And for God's sake, don't kill anyone on that Starliner. You're both dismissed.
If you are free soon, I have been thinking about what we talked about before. The idea of purpose in one's life. You told me that fun was important. I assumed you were joking and dismissed it out of hand. But, having thought about it, I wonder now if you were right. Or at least if I were too quick to reject the idea. I have been single-minded in my pursuits. I have always believed the decisions I made were necessary, that there was no other option. I have sacrificed much to be where I am now. And I'm starting to wonder if it has been worth it. I know. I have told you that I am not one to discuss my past. And yet, thank you. I appreciate the reassurance, but I would like to try. I promised to provide for my family. That meant working with smugglers to procure supplies we could not acquire any other way. I have spent my adult life away from my home, jumping from one planet to the next, living in dangerous conditions, often surrounded by violence. It certainly influenced the way I see the universe. I was convinced from the beginning that it was unwise to let anyone get too close. I had, maybe not quite friends, but people I cared about. Yet there was always a distance I could not reach across. I often find other people complicated and confusing. It seemed easier to not become attached, especially when circumstances meant I might never see them again, with no warning. Until now, I have disagreed strongly with that idea. But therein lies my concern. What I am trying to say is that I now wonder whether it has been the right decision to distance myself from others. I appreciate that more than you know.
Once we get rid of all the pirates? The galaxy will be a better place.
Howdy.
Any adventure you can fly away from. Is that how the saying goes?
Am I being reassigned?